All right, we're streaming. The lighting in my room is bad because it's during the day. I'm sure Mr. Leaky is gonna show up at some point and protest because it's not in the middle of the night, as is to his taste and liking. I think everything's working right. So in today's live stream, we're gonna continue doing what I was doing before, which is we're gonna work on this song from yesterday. I'm doing a remix for Encounters. He has a down-tempo album and he wants me to do a remix. He said ideally an ambient remix of one of his songs, and it's not ambient in the slightest, so he's gonna have to deal with that probably. But we have some ideas coming together. I need to work a little bit more on the mix now, I think, because we have solid ideas starting to like form, and so now I need to make the mix good such that I can tell what the ideas will sound like when they're polished, because that is also an important thing, because you know, some ideas are cool but like can't be mixed right, you know. There's a difference between like things that can be high fidelity and things that are just cool. Like it's not a complete overlapping circle. So anyways, we're gonna work on some of that, and then we're gonna work on this breakdown and an intro and all that stuff. This is the ideas that we got right now. What's up, Knockalonk? Welcome from the Twitch chat. Huge, massive. I'm working on making a remix for yeah, no, zero latency. It's kind of wild. Y'all should if you're unaware, Twitch has no latency and the audio quality is way better. And if I have an average of 3 viewers watching me on Twitch for like, I don't know, some number of hours in a row, then people could give me money on Twitch. Wow. Incredible. Not that that's gonna happen, frankly, but I like the option being there, you know. So yeah. Anyways, I was supposed to do an ambient remix for Encounters on his new album, and now it's turning into a banger. I don't know, it happens. Used to get an average of like 30 average per stream when you did competitive. Yeah, people want to watch people play video games. People want to wind down after work, you know? People who have disposable money work, right? They're not music producers. They work for a living, and they don't want to watch other music producers when they're winding down from work. They want to relax and watch people play nostalgic video games that they grew up in their childhood, you know? Like, that's just the reality of the thing, which is cool. I do that. I don't watch music streamers all that often. Though I do watch Nonkalonk. Y'all should subscribe to Nonkalonk on Twitch. He also, he does stream from time to time, and he makes bangers. So, yeah, okay, we need to compress the shit out of these drums. There's some, like, fucking little triplet thing, whatever, something going on there that, oh, it is you. You are the culprit. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Thank you. Have you used much Hyperfield lately? Rewatched some bits on the streams you did. Yes. I've been beta testing it in the background. I try not to use it on stream that much because I feel like it just bums people out when when I'm using, you know, stuff that they can't use. But actually, all the main sounds from this section, this is all Hyperfield. You can buy instantly till it's all shoot. Yeah, dude. Shit is expensive. It is rough out here. It's kind of like synths are now just like going up to $250, $300 in general. So like it do make sense. I'm gonna shill for the synth endlessly because one, I love it, and two, I am like actively helping in the background for like development of the thing. So like keep in mind, I'm a shill, you know. So, you know, always, you know, take words with a grain of salt, but it's kind of fucking awesome. It is good. Though there's gonna be, I don't know all the payment. There's gonna be like a payment plan thing for people to do like monthly payments for a year and a half, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I feel that if I wasn't fucking helping with development, then I wouldn't be buying it either, frankly. So I hear you there, yeah. Offbeat chords. Oh, in this group called chords. I'm going to call you offbeat chords. Now it is more obvious what you are. Yay. Okay, it gets too loud there a little bit. Maybe compression, I don't know. I'm trying to like mix this. I'm going really fast with the mixing just because there's a deadline on the song. And that may or may not be an issue, but we'll see. I swear there's more stuff. Yeah, you stop that. Thank you. You're fine. You're all right, for sure. Take care, Nonkalonk. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what to do with the breakdown whatsoever. At least, like, I have ideas of what I want to do. I don't want to do it. So we're just going to move on to the second drop. I wish I could change the wave shaper and however this warp knob works. Can I do that? Probably not. I don't think there's any control over this. Just adds slight distortion and filtering. I guess it's a combination of like a low-high shelf lowering thing and probably just like maybe Seinfeld. What is that? What kind of distortion is that? I have no idea. My ear isn't that good. I kind of like it, but I want to tune it better. I don't I think the general idea is fine. I'm not crazy about the mix on a lot of stuff. Maybe I should just move. Should I obsess over these sections or should I just move on to the breakdown? Maybe just move on to the breakdown. How do we make this work? So I have this really gross, so big. I know you said you don't want to burn out the hyperfield thing, but you'll take any footage you can get. Gotcha. Right now I do have priorities in that I'm trying to work on this song, but when I'm tired of working on this, I can fuck around on some hyperfield stuff for sure. There's definitely, is there a new push even out? Is there new, I think we're still on the latest version that I was giving feedback on. Okay, there's definitely been a lot of updates since. A lot of stuff is things are constantly shifting around. The UI looks very different, honestly. Fuck it. I mean, I get to play around with hyperfield, right? That's the alternative. So, yeah, things are being shuffled around. So like right now the macro, doesn't load on the right spot. The UI of all the modules looks totally different, which is a vibe. That is loud. You are loud. So I have to relearn where all the knobs are and stuff because I forgot how everything works, which that's fun. Right? Also, my project file is like fucking massive, so it's not gonna work very well right now. Hey, what's up? Portrait from within. And then... Okay, this latency is kind of weird. Now, I am running this on MME DirectX, which I don't trust FL Studio ASIO, because that has been causing issues with crashing. But basically my project file right now is just idling like way too fucking high because I'm really bad at management, so this is going to behave weirdly, I think. But yeah, it is neat. Oh, there's audio rate modulation now. So if we... Here, I'll just show you this thing real quick and then we'll go back to... Right, so let's reset. Right, that's fun. And then we can change this, instead of this changing the amplitude, right? We're adjusting the amplitudes per partial in this spectral whatever domain. Change this to frequency, right? That's fun. Wait, let's add flatline, because everything's better with flatline. Hey, what's up, Swamp Walker? Welcome back. That's fun, and then you can make it go fast. Oh, this part's crazy. So there's this new thing. I don't think I've shown this off. You can add, there's a phase module. So additive synthesis, yes, this is in beta. It is, I think it's gonna, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Josh, but I am anyways. I think it's going to be available for like, I guess you could consider it early access or whatever, because he's still like ironing out a bunch of shit because, you know, he's a single developer or whatever. But I think the like early access is going to come out relatively soon, which will be $100 cheaper for the first like 100 people that buy it. I have no idea when that would be, but near future, I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on it. But he's making really, really fucking fast progress. So at this point, the audio engine is like pretty much... There's very few bugs with the audio engine. I've been finding bugs with like, I don't know, some amplitude envelope stuff, but like nothing egregious. So at this point it's mostly UI stuff, which is like good and bad, because if you consider like audio plugin development, audio is either like it sounds correct or it doesn't. It's pretty easy to know when you're done with the audio stuff. UI is way more complex because it's like, what is the best placement? You know, what is the most intuitive way to place this? Will this display properly on Mac and Windows and Linux on these different monitors and these different resolutions and stuff? It gets way more complicated. So yeah, anyways, so we have this phase knob. So if you think about what, you know, let me disable sculpt for now. Can we reset you? How do we reset to default? Okay, so we have a solid wave, right? And then if we man, he moved everything. He moved everything. Why? Is it warp? Okay. So warp is gonna bend all the harmonics in slightly different spots. Hey, what's up, Exon? You're not hearing the music again? That's, I mean, it says it's coming out of my desktop audio. Is anyone else? What? Why would that be happening? Why would you only hear my voice, but not the music? That's fucking weird. Is Twitch somehow like taking, no, because I'm streaming to Restream. I'm not even streaming directly to Twitch. I have no idea what's up with that. Huh. Try Googling. You can hear it, but you're on YouTube, not Twitch. Well, I mean, Paul can hear it. So that just makes me assume it's a you issue, but I have no idea why that would occur. Anyways, so basically, you know, if all the partials are completely lined up and in sync, then you get a saw wave. If you detune it slightly such that some of the partials are at different frequencies, you can hear dispersion, right? Basically all the phases get decohered and nothing's lined up, and then it starts sounding wet and squiddy, right? Anyways, so this phase thing, what this does is it recoheres it. So if I twist this, it will take whatever sound you have and then realign all the harmonics to its best ability to the fundamental, right? So basically you can... Sounds fucking crazy. So that's like neat and all. Because like if you think about it, if you ever use like Harmor or whatever, you twist the prism knob and then go back to oh yeah, so also fun fact for YouTube watchers, YouTube lies to you. And so if you, where is the YouTube stream? It by default like puts you like 20 seconds back when it doesn't even have to, which is wild. So if you click on playback speed, you can set it to like 2 times speed, and then it's going to speed up for like 20 seconds to catch up to the actual live moment. The only way you can bypass it is by doing this 2 times speed thing. 2 times speed, and then it's going to speed up. It's still doing it. To catch up to the actual live moment. Now it's caught up. Bypass it is by doing this 2 times speed thing. Right. So now it's like 8 seconds or something behind, whereas before it was like 20 seconds. That's like pro tip for when you're watching streams. I don't know why that's the case. Anyways. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to, you know, do shit like that, and then we can recohere it. It basically makes it sound kind of like Saw-like again, which is neat, I think, personally. I'm a fan. The synth is silent? Okay. Wait, Swamp Walker can hear it. Exon can't hear it. It's like -12. Oh. Maybe my just headphones were cranked. I guess my headphones are just like fucking cranked super, super loud, and so I didn't have a problem. Okay. So here's without the phase decoherence or whatever, right? Which, like, I don't know, that's pretty cool. And then, okay, yeah, my project file really can't handle this shit. But we can also try taking let's get another polymorph, which is effectively just like your saw wave thing. And then how is this gonna work? I want to try doing spectral side chaining. What would be fun? Maybe we can we'll use some other thing. Like globule. So that's like playing little percussion bits. Oh yeah. So it's doing that kind of thing. And then we can try applying this into here, which is going to spectrally... Why is that happening? Just go there. There we go. So this is going to spectrally sidechain this information. So whatever partials are playing here are going to be applied to the sculpt. Otherwise, the sculpt is going to be ignored. Hello? Which, like, that's kind of fucking crazy. And then, so now you might be like, I don't want to hear the sound of the fucking saw wave. I just want to hear what's coming out of the globule, right? Or the sidechain signal. So we can effectively do polarity phase cancellation, but like in the spectral domain using this math knob. So we're going to take the output of this guy, and then we're going to take the output of the before signal, and we're going to plug it into here. So we're going to do math with the before signal, and then we're going to do math with the signal that was sculpted, that has then been spectrally sidechained by this other module. And then we're going to crank it, and we're going to set it to subtract. And so this should, if I did this right, this should subtract the output of this with the input, and the difference is going to be the globule shit. Right? Looks like my CPU is shitting itself though, so I need to do this in a different project file because there's like, I have like 150 tracks in here for no reason. Yeah, it is. Just imagine, pretend for a moment that this sounds really cool and not like CPU shitting itself. Actually, it's not even CPU shitting itself. It's the flatline and the instant decay of the globule sidechain, which is weird. I broke it. Anyways, so there's your fill for now. We'll, after I work on this project for a bit, we'll fuck around with it more in a dedicated project file and make some sounds and stuff like that. But yeah, Hyperfield. Hyperfield is good. It is real good. Okay, let's, I wrote in my notes here, need more going on. So let's do that. Now, I don't really like the snare. Also, I don't... let's go to you. Hold on, I'm doing maintenance. I'm just gonna start deleting the like fucking hundreds of tracks that I have that just aren't doing literally anything. Turns out like all the tracks are doing something. That's unfortunate. I just scanned through like all of them. What do I want to add here? I mean, we have some cool stuff here. Okay, so in this section, maybe we can, no, thinking maybe we could try teasing the crazy additive bass, but I feel like we shouldn't tease it just because the presentation of the, hey, guess what? We have additive shit, right? When this drop happens is particularly cool, but I don't know, auto filter, maybe we can take you, make you like that. And then let's set you to crazy mode, and then make you super crazy mode. And then okay, and then let's just bounce this in place. We made sounds. And then these will make the song better. Right? So that's what they're here for. So now we have this. We can then take another auto filter. And then let's make this a bandpass. And then let's just make this guy sweep. Right? Just give it one of these. And then flatline. And then erosion. Okay. I made sounds and then they don't really fit at all. Okay, I mean, it adds stuff. There's stuff happening. We added things. I don't know if they're good things, but they're there now. Wait. Let's undo this. Disable automation copying, then... And then maybe let's just not go all the way up. And then maybe let's wiggle it. And then let's make wide. Yeah, Twitch is better with almost everything except I like the YouTube interface more. I like the ability to just like rewind so easily in the VOD, like while it's just playing. Like Twitch kind of sucks there. Yeah. Okay, now I need to make this in tune. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I had my mini meters covering up the left meter this whole time on the stream. What a shame. Hold on, let me fix all of that. Cool. Okay, we just got to get rid of a lot of the atmosphere stuff. Like, this is all not... I kind of like that. I kind of like the short build-up. Short build-up? Is this the way? Do I have... I probably have all sorts of automation and shit here. We're just gonna take you, and we're gonna take that. We're gonna move you there, paste you there, and then we're gonna cut that. Why do you get muted? Why do you get muted? Where's the thing? The thing. You. Yeah, what's going on? Behave. Why? Why, man? Maybe we make this go. Would it be stupid to redux this? Probably. Kind of lit. Hold on. The redux, I'm not sure. Okay, so we have that. Oh, I wanted to add arts. We need some arts. Getting my hotkeys. And then are you the same fucking chord? No, you're even worse. Wait, no, you're a different chord. But we're only playing thirds, which is odd. Operator. Just some. And then same. Yeah, there's no other real information as to what chord this is. So I guess for... Nope. Da, da, da. Oh, okay, because there's less notes in this one, but it goes the same length, we can just stretch it out. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please, please, please. Thank you. Are these the same fucking chords again? Or are these different? G sharp. What are you even? Oh, you're G sharp major. You are G sharp major. Yes, same fucking chords again. I feel like I want this guy to go taller. Wait. Wait. We just want this longer, maybe? Up. give it one of these. Just a little bit of one of those where we offset the left and right. That's a good way to make cool stereo imaging, by the way. Right? Because they're both offset, so then they get phase decohered on the left and right speaker so quickly. The problem is now that the first chord gets masked, so you don't really even hear that it's playing, and then all of a sudden when it does the second ARP an octave up, it's like, oh shit, there's an ARP there. I didn't even realize that we were doing the ARP thing because it's getting masked. Yeah, so that's a little bit better, maybe. Just our frequency's getting masked, just make it fucking louder. Don't worry about your mix getting muddy, just keep boosting the volume of things whenever they get quiet. Okay, I like that a lot. I do like that. I'm saving the project. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, what about the switch over into this section now? How's that working? Right, the bass is fucked there. So. We want to filter the drums less. Does clip your master then, girly? Well, oh, this thing? But why? Also, I got limiters out the frickin' wazoo. Can I just... I thought I just copied this portion over here earlier. That's because we're playing this at the same time. No, there's something stupid going on. Oh. I was copying with the fucking copy automation thing on. Look, it is dangerous to make jokes about someone's master clipping, alright? They'll go fucking insane thinking about it. Why? Why are you doing this? I guess, oh, no? Yes? No? Why? All I can do is keep repeating why without fucking finding a solution. I don't get it. I don't get it. I literally copied the entire fucking thing. Entire automation. Do I have a... Oh, that was the wrong group. I have a copy of the group called Tease Me, because that's using the tease, and then it's... Can't even fucking hear it. Yeah, it's just a resonance. It's just a resonator. Also, we shouldn't have that many low frequencies in it. This is the guy I'm supposed to be copying. That's why. I figured out why, folks. Turns out I was not doing the right thing. What's the hotkey to turn off automation copy? Oh, this guy. I don't know if there's a hotkey for it, but it's this lock button. You press this button, and then you can just like fucking duplicate shit, and then it keeps everything. Hello, Debstep. Yeah, I didn't realize that this was an option until like a year and a half ago or something, when someone pointed it out on stream, and changed my fucking life. Like, it is actually insanely massive. You can like turn it off and then like insert timelines or whatever and duplicate drops over, but retaining automation and whatnot. Yeah, it's insane. Okay, I think one beef now is the chords here are too similar to when I add the chords here. So like, I'm not really changing all that much up in this initial first beat, which is like, I want the release here, the satisfaction of this little pseudo drop, whatever, when we change over to the next 16 bars, to be more impactful. And it is less impactful when I'm playing the same chords in almost the same timbre as the previous section. So we need to wait, the bass guy. Also, we should fucking organize our goddamn project file instead of just continuing to suffer here. So let's move these beneath subs. Yeah. Yeah, and then let's, whatever the fuck these guys are, let's move you guys underneath here. Let's move weird chords underneath chords. That's right, we have a weirds chords group. I just said weirds chords. Ooh, there's additive bass. We should put the additive bass underneath subs. Okay, now the fact that I'm doing all this means that I've like memorized the layout of this entire project file already, and now I'm gonna get more lost, but there's now a logic to it. And then we just have the clusterfuck of random non-grouped things beneath. Oh, and then we have offbeat chords. So we have chords in melody, we have offbeat chords, and we have weird chords. All right, that's organization right there. I'm happy with it. Okay, what can we do with, this is the offbeat chords. Okay, one, you're clicky, like it's really bad. I mean, all these have decent attacks. Yeah, what's up with Wavetable? What the fuck is going on with this guy? Why can I hear so many like micro clicks in it? You know, we have a 40 millisecond attack, bro. What is going on? Are you clipping? I think it was clipping against something. We have a compressor. Oh. That makes sense why the clipping... Wait, hold on. I'm so curious now. Hold on. Let's crank the volume on this again. Crank it. Okay. Oh, we have a literal fucking saturator. Okay, okay, I understand everything now. Yeah, it's whatever, man. And then we're gonna make the high pitch one. Chill the fuck out. That's pretty good. Can we just be cheeky and just make this operator do that just for this just one moment? I don't know. Something in me tells me I gotta make that single bass note sound better. Except the release sounds fucking pathetic. Okay. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to me? Just I found a better solution. Amazing. Amazing. I don't like the first one. The first big ARP. You are not good. How do we make you better? What can we do to what do? That's I don't know if that works in the song, but I like that. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. Wait. You're supposed to go over here. No. Okay, the problem was the first ARP I didn't like, and then I made the second ARP lit, and now the first ARP is still bad. Hit it with a wide boy. Make it wide. Thank you. I like that. I think that's pretty good. The sub and everything's super muddy and everything's fighting each other. I don't care too much. Okay, we made the breakdown kind of work. It's still pretty boring, but it now is listenable, right? I think these strings are like, they sound like they're about to go on for a really long time and make a really big intro or like build up, but we're not doing that. So I think we just cut that, frankly. Okay, now I want this thing to sound like it's far away in the distance. I want it to get big. Will my plugin help with that? Maybe. I don't think it will because it's all Tamper based. Why the fuck are you not? I forgot to fix that. That is annoying. Okay, we're not gonna deal with that right now. Let's just do it manually because we know how fucking psychoacoustics work. Why is that happening? Stop it. Thank you. Utility. Yeah, that's not auto filter. Legacy auto filter because it's frankly better. And then we probably just like kind of go down. I actually should have used the normal autofilter because the legacy autofilter doesn't have a dry wet. I take everything back. Let's just copy this and put that there and delete that. And then you're gonna do some shit like that. Yeah, I agree on the drums being kind of weak. Problem with me is drums are definitely like a weak point of mine. I definitely neglect the shit out of them. Is this the one where I added the off? Where's the extra snare bit? Did I not do that here? Things I can't just keep adding extra snares and be like, I'm just calling it quits there, you know? Let's take, what if we take you? Hold on, we need a new thing. More snare, better drum. Thank you. That's how I feel it works. At the very least, we got a fill. Glitchy fills. I know you said add drums. These are quickly turning into glitches and not drums, but I don't have a but. I'm just kind of acknowledging what's going down right now. Let's take. I think drums fit the song perfectly fine, honestly. Oh, hey, what's up, Desync? Could maybe be brought up in the mix, but laid back group, it fits perfect. I think, well, the problem is I neglect to like fills and stuff like that. Absolutely. Like it doesn't need much. It could be so much as like one or two little perks for toms, just like making fills will round out everything. Like it doesn't often take much to like overhaul or make drums work. I don't know, I just remember I saw Flintwick play live like probably half a year ago at this point. I don't remember. And he's fucking amazing. He's like at the top. He's like one of the best producers in the scene right now, without a doubt. And I noticed he has crazy good drum fills happening constantly. There's like a different, unique, super fucking cool drum fill interacting, doing call and response with the synths and stuff. Like every like 8 bars, every 4 or 8 bars. And they're all really good. And I neglect the shit out of drum fills. I never do it. And so I just realized that is a big weak point of mine. For sure. What if we go... You were supposed to go down, I thought. Yeah, I think I gotta, like, learn how to play drums. I do think I need to do that. Let's... this is just stupid. I kind of like it. We're turning this into ear candy instead. And then, let's add another auto filter. This one's just... It's subtle. but it works. It does the thing. Right, because it gets masked by the reverb tails. And now it complements the timbre of the other glitches that are happening. I dig it. And now I don't like the timbre of the thing anymore. So let's use a shifter, because it's not tonal, so we can fuck around with like more interesting things than just pitch shifting, right? Ring mod. I mean, that's fun, but I don't like it. Let's try the ring mod stack rack. Ring mod stack rack. Everyone's favorite stack rack for ring mods. Okay, maybe instead we actually just automate. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Oh yeah, we got to flatline it afterwards, because you always got to flatline everything. Okay, this isn't working, but I'm having fun. So I'm going to keep having fun until it's really, really apparent it's not working. What the fuck is going on? Right. And then we gotta turn these off, except for over there. And let's also make this part just quieter, because it's fucking stupidly crazy sounding. So, though honestly, if you're doing a thing, you're like, I gotta make this quieter because it doesn't sound good. That means you should probably just remove it, right? I did it inverted than what the way it was supposed to be. That's great. Good job. Great job. I just want to get rid of the transients, thank you. Okay, I kind of like how it just disintegrates there a little bit. Tried out extensions yet? I have not. I have some ideas for it. One, I have to download like a beta for Ableton, and then it's gonna fuck up all my project files, and then I have to rename all my project files, and then shit's gonna break, and I'm gonna lose my mind. And then basically the net benefit is I'm gonna use a feature that I think is still not gonna do 90% of what I wanted to do. I did some research into like what you can do with extensions, and you cannot modify the UI whatsoever. So like my hope was that like I would be able to, I don't know, create custom like ways to write MIDI or something, or like create some sort of like extra interface for, I don't know. I wanted the ability to like subdivide your grid into like septuplets instead of just triplets and quarter notes or whatever, right? You can't do that. None of that is available. Secondly, the thing I was most excited about was microtonal capabilities, because I'm all about that shit. And it explicitly cannot touch the tuning features. It cannot touch tuning files whatsoever. It's just not a thing it can do because this is hard-coded. And so, like, it seems like every single possible thing you could do with it is just, like, some nifty way to cut up and mangle audio or to do generative MIDI stuff. So it's like you can make your own custom MIDI scrambling. Where the fuck? Let me see some MIDI. Like, now, again, I haven't touched it. I have not touched it. This is entirely off of me commanding a robot to read documentation and tell me what's possible, so I haven't even read the fucking documentation. But it seems like it largely would be like making your own custom whatever effects down here. Like, notice that all of the shown... I'm just skeptical about it. I don't know. All the things that I saw were like, look, you can play Flappy Bird, and then when you play Flappy Bird, it draws a MIDI note as you're playing it. It's like, okay. Alright. It's just funny ways to insert MIDI notes. I don't know. I don't know. But I do have some ideas. I definitely do. Like, I suppose, like, if you can have a window pop up and inform you of stuff, and if it can read, I can't remember if it's possible to read like highlighted notes and stuff. Like, one thing I want to do is I want to create like a virtual fundamental analyzer thing. So, I mean, I've written scripts before so that you can give some select frequencies, right? Like, let's say you have these two notes. The analyzer would say, oh, these two notes are really close to a perfect fifth or 3/2 apart, and therefore this would be the second and third harmonic of a fundamental located here. And so what I want this to do is I want this to analyze chords in any temperament, any tuning, and analyze potential locations for virtual fundamentals. So if this is right here, it'd be like, oh, this is a fucking major third. This is pretty close to a 5/4. Therefore, we're going to put the virtual fundamental 5 harmonics below this guy, 4 harmonics below this guy, right? Which this would be, 2 octaves down. And then you see, oh, there's a virtual fundamental here. And then it could also inform you of other possible locations of where you could put it, because this kind of informs a lot of ways you can go about composing or building chords or resolving like ambiguous tensions or something, right? So like, let's say there's a like if you have a major third, this could imply that you have a virtual fundamental 2 octaves below this guy. It could also imply that this is the upper half of a minor chord, right? Because if you have if this is actually your root, then this is going to be pointing towards, well, this is going to be, I can't remember what a minor chord is, like 10 against 12 against 15 or something. Actually, that still points to the same thing. Anyways, the point is, it'll inform you of different possible options for like what kind of chord you can build from a like sound design and temperament theory perspective in terms of building large structures. And then, I don't know, I think there's a lot of utility there, because like I understand conceptually how all that theory works, but putting it into practice is difficult because it requires a shit ton of number crunching. So if I can figure out a way to have, because it's a JavaScript extension, right? So if you can read the MIDI, then it can inform you of exactly like where those locations are. Ideally, you could also modify the UI, because I want the ability to color notes. I want the ability to, make a microtonal tuning and make different notes different colors relative to each other. I want the ability to highlight this note, and it should highlight and color everything a perfect fifth apart blue and everything that's an octave apart yellow, or whatever the fuck I want. Imagine how many potentials there, like the possibilities of that. And then you can start associating like synesthetic ways of thinking about intervals and chords and music with color. And that could be interesting, because I think Reaper is like super capable of doing stuff like that. Anyways, all that is to say, I haven't done that much research, but what research I have done shows me that the things I want to do are not possible yet. So I'm kind of bummed about it. So the ones getting released are SoFire, TBH. All right, I'm going to look back at it. Ableton Extensions SDK. Let's 2 hours ago it's been updated. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so it's a lot of like you can right click and then like chop up stuff, right?
Maybe there's something you own. You could build extensions, whole way of working.
Like these are useful things for sure.
Never did a right click turn your idea into an extension. Download.
I wish this wasn't just an animation. I want to see actually this being applied in a project file. You know, it's like you're watching a trailer for a video game and then it's like none of it is actually in-game footage.
Spark or scramble.
Like this isn't a real Ableton waveform. Like what the fuck do you want me to do with that? Here, Flappy Bird. You can make MIDI notes. Renames clips, which technically like I already do with just like running scripts on the folders themselves outside of Ableton, but doing that within Ableton is cool, I guess. Algorithmic breakbeat slicer, I could do this with arpeggiators. Photo to MIDI, that's cute, but I guess you could think of this as like another way to create additive images, but you're using MIDI notes directly. If you want to like encrypt a message in your song, that's cool, I suppose. Though again, you could just use, like it assists things, but it's not giving me anything new because there exist websites where you just upload a photo and it'll just give you a MIDI file, right? And then you can just put the MIDI file in Ableton. So that's handy. Notation, I mean, I don't use sheet music, but I'm sure this is actually going to be super, super helpful for some musicians. So that's pretty lit. It doesn't work for me though. Pulse Stretch for live. I mean, I have the Pulse Stretch plug-in. Wait, how the fuck does this work? So is this a plugin, but this is an extension? This applies differently? I guess it's a warp. Can you make custom warp modes? Is this a warp mode? What the fuck is this? This one intrigues the shit out of me, actually. Because how are they doing this? How is it implemented? They are all in the Discord. Oh. Well, they should have the lit ones on the advertisement then. Okay, I do fucking love falling sand simulators. I do like that. But again, this is just like Max MSP stuff. Or just like generative impulses and stuff. I have no idea what that is. Anyways, I'm just not like super blown away with anything yet. But, you know, it's the beta. Things will come. So I am excited for it overall, generally. I'm such a fucking Luddite. Wait, why do you say that? Is because you've been coming around this too... Wait. Oh, no, that was for an earlier. Why are you a Luddite? Are you also hating on the extensions? Are you hating on robots, the AI shit? I'm curious. I want a little bit of actual sidechain pumping, just like a tiny bit on the percussion. I think it might sound cool. I am curious. Just like big release. I don't like the beginning of that, but I do like the disintegrating ring mop bit. No, I'm just so slow and late to use new tools like this, especially workflow improvements. Oh yeah, I feel that. The thing is, these don't feel like workflow improvements. These feel like a bunch of like very specific gimmicks that like if I wanted to make a project file where I imported a photo to MIDI, right? I'm not going to go through the effort of downloading something that is more likely to crash my Ableton and integrate it with everything and figure out how the installer and all that shit works versus just like typing in photo to MIDI. I'm sure this exists. Image to MIDI. Bam. And then you just upload a picture and then you get your thing. Because I'm going to use it like once. Like how frequently are you going to want to turn pictures into fucking MIDI? Probably for like one specific gimmick in a project file. You don't need... I don't see that, and I feel like a lot of the stuff is kind of gimmicky. The silence one is cool. The pulse stretch for live is cool. I'm curious about how the fuck the pulse stretch thing works, frankly, because is this like a warp mode? I don't get it. So like and I know there's a lot of potential. It's just I haven't seen anything that interesting, and when I've prodded and looked through what is currently possible, there's a bunch of limitations that like I don't really care about. Also, Ableton's already like crashes all the time as it is, and so I feel like integrating JavaScript with fucking Ableton is like a recipe for disaster. Well, you know. Fair, you know, I was a little confused with what's new with this, like between Python scripting and Max, that we had most of this. Yeah, my impression was you were going to be able, well, like Max for Live can't, I don't believe, can just like generate and manipulate MIDI and samples directly, right? Like with the JavaScript thing, I guess, I assume some algorithm will run through, find whenever, you know, there's like multiple samples of 0 in a row, and then can apply 2 audio files and warp it and then delete all the silences and whatnot, right? Which you can't do with Max. So this can directly interface with your MIDI, and it can also interface with audio files, which the audio file thing is interesting, especially because there's pulse stretch, which makes me think you could just apply, you know, like warping algorithms, like custom shit to audio files, which is like something that if you wanted to do in Max, you would have to have like a Max effect and then put the sound into the effect and then record it out. Whereas this, it seems like it can just directly manipulate data within Ableton. Now, that's like the only thing that sounds kind of cool to me, that it can do. The other things I thought it could do is I thought it would be able to like interface with other things in Ableton, like tuning files. Like something I really, really wanted is I've been making a fucking microtonal music theory learning thing, right? And so you can like basically create a bunch of different scales. So like here's your diatonic scale, and then you could like detune it and make it really sharp, and so you're approximating like 37 tone equal temperament. And so I know like the SDK can communicate with external servers, so my hope was like, if you can manipulate tuning data, imagine how fucking cool it could be if I could just sync this app to Ableton, and then you could just adjust the tuning of your project file on the fucking fly via another app instead of having to deal with SCL files. That's not possible as it stands. Maybe in the future they'll make tuning files not hard-coded, but that was like what I was really, really hoping for. And yeah, this thing is I'm pretty stoked on this. I'm gonna make a video in the near future. I was planning on doing it tonight. I'm gonna make microtonal theory number 2 and explain how to find and discover cool scales and how temperaments and scales work and stuff in general. So yeah, anyways, there's like a lot of potential, I think, for them to expand on this thing, but I'm unimpressed with what you can do currently. Again, I haven't touched it. I've not touched it. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what I'm talking about. I took a cursory glance at what you can do, and then I turned my nose in the air, and then huffed my breath, and then walked away. So, yeah, who knows? All right, let's go back over here. I'm gonna get some water. Yeah. Alright, now that I have context, I don't like this that much. At least the pitch envelope stuff is kind of stupid the first time around. Hey, what's up, Mr. Leaky? Hey, you're not yelling at me, despite the time. I predicted the alternative. Okay, I like this. I think we've been doing good. I'm gonna stop working on it because I've been working on this song for like an hour and a half. But we can let's just do some sound design. Let's reward myself and have fun and do sound design for a little bit. And I can show off. I'll show off more Hyperfield. I don't know if I already forgot who was asking about Hyperfield earlier. Someone was. His name started with an S. And he was like, "Give more Hyperfield." So we're gonna do that. In the meantime, I'm gonna go drink water and use the bathroom and stand up. And I was gonna say touch grass, but I'm not. I'm just gonna touch the carpet. So I'm gonna go touch the carpet. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. 2 minutes. All right, I am back. So the goal is we're gonna do sound design and we're gonna show off Hyperfield, and then maybe we'll make a song out of it. Maybe, who knows? We're at the least we're gonna record some sounds. So Hyperfield. This is. I mean, I already showed off some of the cool things. It is loud. I'm gonna turn this down on my end. So, if anyone is not like super familiar with how this works, I guess one cool thing to... Basically, this is completely different from any other way that you normally do sound design because you're not working with actual audio. You're not working with signals at all. A signal is made at the end, at the very, very end, but what you're working with really is a bunch of numbers. You basically have a giant matrix That is to say, imagine an Excel spreadsheet where you have 10 columns, and those 10 columns determine what the amplitude is, what the frequency is, what the phase is, as well as other things, other new parameters that the inventor of this thing came up with that involves like distortion, where it ends up wave shaping every individual sine wave. So if you the distortion parameter is cranked, then when the sine waves get rendered, they're actually turned into triangle waves, stuff like that. There's a bunch of different things. You do not need to know math whatsoever. It's nice to know. I like math, so I think it's cool. But frankly, all you just gotta twist knobs and shit sounds lit. But I like the math, so I'm gonna talk about it because shit is fascinating. Yeah, it is super intuitive, I will say. Now, if you know a little bit about what's going on and how it works, you can like predict cool sounds. You can predict interesting ways to create new sounds. Now, that being said, a lot of these things just sound fucking really cool just to begin with. So, like, this is, I feel like, pretty intuitive. Hold on, let's turn on, is the visuals working cool? Where's the, yes. Oh. It's not working. I don't, well, that's okay. Anyways, so if he changes the frequency, this sculpt thing here is like doing basic math operations on the entire Excel spreadsheet, right? So like we're adjusting the volume of each of, you know, the high frequencies or low frequencies. And then at the very end of the chain, they get rendered and then pushed through at those different volumes. You can also change it to frequency, so we can adjust the frequency offset. Right? Which is kind of cool. We can like make weird shapes. So like we can try to make like a fucking rectangle or something, and then we can make it kind of cool. This is neat. We can let's take another sculpt, and then this one will be, how do you want to do this? I want them all to delete. I want all of them to delete. How do I want to do that? We can do, just make these all delete, frankly. Which is cool. And now let's offset the rate. Which is cool. So now, you know, it's combing over portions that are not frequency shifted and ones that are. Now, because this is an additive synth, whenever you are frequency shifting different partials away from being perfectly in tune, the phase is going to get decohered or sent out of alignment, right? Because, you know, if you make a phase of a wave, if one wave is beating twice as fast as the other wave, then when the second wave completes 2 rotations, the first one will complete 1. If you make the second wave move a little bit faster just for a moment and then go back to the same frequency, then it's not going to be aligned at the same point anymore, right? So whenever you fuck with the frequency, then it starts sounding super dispersed. Then you could use, I was showing this off earlier, you can use phase to then realign the phase. So no matter what you do, again, I'm just showing off cool fucking math shit. Just because, it's mostly because I find it fun. I mean, if you want, you can just like go through, here, wait, how do we get rid of that? Let's just move these away. You can just like twist knob. And explore different modules, right? Increase the release. Like, I don't know, I frankly don't really know what any of these things do. Let me put this back in here. I'm just holding down a major chord. Also, you can twist these knobs and it fucks with the sculpt shape. So basically, all that this patch is we have this, whatever this chord thing is doing with the knob set to random shit, going into a sculpt, which is frequency shifting things based on what the shape is. It's just like Prism in Harmor, or most other additive synths have something similar to this. And then there's also another one controlling amplitude. And then these are just moving at different rates with different funny shapes. This guy over here is making the phase realigned if this is turned off. You can hear, when these knobs are up, you can hear the harmonics stepping down discreetly, right? Because it's realigning everything. Yep. Which is pretty fucking cool, I think. Here, let's turn this off, and then let's check out a different module. So this is supposed to like replicate, you know, a harmonic resonator kind of thing. So the maths, again, it's basically. Okay, one cool way to demonstrate how this shit works is if you were, we have a single sine wave, right? I can make it a saw wave. If you crank this down, it turns to a sine wave. Let's make it, there we go. We're playing just a sine wave. Beautiful. If you increase the drive, you know, we're adding harmonics, right? It's as if we're wave shaping it. Let's turn off the reverb and stuff. Right, so it squarifies the wave, right? Now, normally, in another synth, you could take a low-pass filter, and the low-pass filter would be able to remove those harmonics again, but it doesn't. Right, notice this low-pass filter is only reading a single harmonic, because what this low-pass filter is doing, this isn't actually a low-pass filter, it's a lie. Everything in additive synthesis is a lie. We're actually doing completely different operations that mimic how filters actually work, right? Filters apply smoothing to a waveform to make the waveform, the higher frequencies smooth out such that lower frequencies keep persisting. So you're just applying a smoothing function to waves when you're using a low-pass filter. What this does is this manually checks all of the harmonics and says, is this harmonic past my cutoff? If it is, lower it in volume, right? This is like a more real filter than anything else, right? So if I make this, oh wait, let's turn off drive. So it has a different sound to it. It also doesn't, Yeah, there's a way to modify it. It doesn't fuck with the phase either. And if I increase the resonance, so now this is mimicking, I believe how the resonance works is it's mimicking, it's applying its own phase offset to mimic how actual filters work. But it sounds completely different than any normal fucking filter you've ever heard, right? Because this isn't a filter. Anyways, so notice if I crank this drive and make this a sine wave, you either have a whole fucking square wave or you have nothing at all, right? Those are your only two options. And the reason why is because what's happening is this is reading this input and it says, oh, I have a sine wave input, one single sine wave at this frequency, and this sine wave has this drive parameter turned up, right? Remember, it's just an Excel spreadsheet, and what happens is every single harmonic in the spreadsheet, its amplitude is set to 0, except for the first one, which is just a single sine wave. And then that first harmonic also has an extra parameter called drive, and that's turned up. So this low-pass filter is only checking whether or not its frequency is past this cutoff, right? It says, okay, it isn't past the cutoff, therefore I'm going to let you pass through. And then what drive does is at the very, very end of the entire signal chain, it gets constructed into a square wave instead of a sine wave. So it bypasses the distortion, because again, none of this is real low pass filter. None of this is real distortion. There's no real wave shaping going on. So that will give you an understanding how some effects will be completely unintuitive because a lot of the shit is doing very different stuff behind the scenes than anything else, because it's an additive modular synthesizer. You have to do things differently. So it's it's kind of a different language. Most of the stuff behaves the same or what you would expect, but there's some things that'll surprise you or whatever, right? That sounds fucking neat. So, okay, what's going on here? We have drive cranked, right? We have this wave. And every single wave that's getting passed through, we're passing through whatever, 5 sine waves or whatever's going on. And all of those sine waves are turning into square waves at the end. So everything else is getting rejected, but the 5 sine waves that remain still have drive on them. Therefore, they turn into squares. Notice that it sounds like you're playing a major chord, right? That's because you kind of literally are playing a justly tuned major chord with square waves, because you're not playing sine waves anymore. Cable does look like a mushroom. I don't know how I feel about it, frankly. Here's a feature that is pretty cool. You can use, this one's crazy. Might not be the best thing to try it on it. Yeah, let's not do it on that. Maybe on shape. No, we need to try this on something else, but effectively you can make it so that this tracks different. I'll show this on something else. Let's figure out something else that we can try this on. So we can sculpt this. Let's put you over here. Let's take you off, and you are going to connect to that. Oh. That sounds weird. And then, change this to how do I get my hands on this? I learned that Josh J-Lang was developing the synth, and then I begged him over Instagram DMs to let me beta test it because I'm obsessed with additive synths, and then now I've been helping him beta test it and been giving feature requests and trying out stuff and just giving feedback on the synth for the past 3 months or something like that. This is why Razor squelches. Yeah, this is basically the intended goal was for him to make a spiritual successor to Razor, because Razor is like 15 years old at this point, and we don't have any additive synths that really stand up to it, except Harmer. Harmer is also really good, but also is like 15 years old. So this is, we live in the future. We deserve synths that are made of future, you know? Anyways, we can take like whatever comes out of this, and we could feed this into fucking, I don't know, symmetry. And so symmetry is gonna split this into like multiple shapes or some shit, which is weird. And what this does now is we have set this such that the volume level that comes out of this is going to just works as a modulator for this node. We can also change it to be the brightness level. So how bright this is, meaning, and I believe it's like the level of spectral tilt. So it like tries to take a general measurement for the frequency spectrum of the sound, and then you can use that as a modulator. So there's like a bunch of different modulators. Ooh, let's do inharmonicity actually. And oh, this will be fucked actually. I'm so curious now. So how inharmonic this is going to affect amount, but let's make amount be frequency. So when this is cranked, it's going to make it inharmonic, and when it's inharmonic, it's going to crank it. And so now we have like a feedback loop. Does it sound good? No, but we're doing science. Let's go. Let's try inverting this. Also, most sounds in additive synthesis, additive land, sound way better with reverb, just because it's like, you have these like sparse partials popping in and out of existence. You could protect the first like up to 32 partials so that they don't get affected by the shit. I've actually not messed with Loom 2. I've messed with most additive synths, but I haven't with Loom 2. I don't know why. I definitely should. Definitely should. But now I got my hands full. So we have this doing weird stuff. Let's try doing the phase alignment thing again, because frankly, every time you fuck with inharmonicity, phase lining is fun. This is Hyperfield, which is a plugin in beta that I am testing. Jling is developing it right now. You can Hyperfield, you can read about it, and you can like subscribe to a newsletter or whatever the fuck for whenever it gets released. Here, I'm adding it to the chat. Yay. People were requesting that I demo it, so here I am. The only downside is this. He hasn't fully fixed it. It used to sound worse, but when phase, when we were realigning the phase, if you're making the frequencies go super out of alignment and then you try to realign them really aggressively, then you end up getting these like aliasing artifacts. Yeah, speed affects it. Makes sense. Here's another thing. It's not called crystallize. It's called, I forget what it's called. All of these have funny, like, look at all the names for this shit. Here, we can try out Shepherd. I don't remember this one. Oh yeah, so this one's being weird, I think, because we have this. No. Yeah, the face thing used to be a lot worse. It's definitely been improved. That's why I was like disappointed when I heard it again, because I thought it was 100% gone. It makes sense why it would be a problem, though. Yeah. That's crazy. That's... I should send a picture of this because the text is all fucked up on this thing. And I will send this in the feedback dump thingy. And then we got, let's try to distort it. Yeah, it doesn't really... So again, all the distortion stuff behaves not at all like you'd normally expect, so it doesn't sound like normal distortion. There's real distortion happening somewhere. Oh, it's just come from this. That's good. Transient suppression plus decay extension. Each partial's amp rises, gets clamped, while decays. What? Stretch. Okay. It fucks with. It fucks with the envelope of each individual partial. That's crazy. This one, yeah, I think so. This is a saw wave. I guess we're using a string resonator as an impulse, which makes sense why it has a like really warm tone. Let's try something else. Hello? Hello? Please? Okay, why is that happening? Okay, it's distortion. That makes sense. Let's try, what are the delay stuff? Is delay gone? It's just called temporal, I think. Okay. Because I know he's been struggling with the delay module. Because again, delays in normal... Wait, temporal... Oh, this is a blend. I think he killed delay. Technically, this is still... I could probably still pull the delay out of it. Let me... What happened to my delay? I mean, the delay was the biggest problem, because again, it normally, if you want to delay something in normal audio, you literally just take like the sample from so many milliseconds ago and just shove it back in. Here, it's a completely different world where you have to like re-render and figure out how you want to overlay and re-render so many partials from so long ago. So maybe it is just gone. Makes me sad though. Oh, it's called tap. Never mind. Never mind. It's not gone. I forgot. I just forgot that he keeps renaming things. So we got this thing now. Everything looks different. Very weird. Let's make this something I understand a little bit more. Alright, let's just make this like a pluck. So it just does that. Okay, I think that bug is still here with the envelope. No? Why doesn't it keep going up? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna init this, because it's very difficult trying to find bugs in this, because again, nothing behaves like how you would normally expect anything to behave. Alright, we were doing tap. And then... Okay, so it doesn't continuously apply repitching. Maybe that was for a reason, because it was super buggy, though you could get really cool sounds out of it. Maybe he just scrapped that. Oh, by up to 2 octaves. I see. Okay. Damn, he killed it. Okay, that's understandable. Unless it's somewhere that I don't know. Whoa. Also, it'd be cool if there's like a dry wet. I want this to be 100% of the signal. Which is very weird. Interested to see how the audio effects version... Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, how is there really no way to get rid of input boy? I mean, what I can do is we can take a math, and then I think we could just delete the difference. Alright, I gotta record some of these. For sure. 21. Yes. Math device, the yeah, polarity inversion. If you want to remove, if you just want to take the difference, this is effectively the subtraction thing, and the way I'm using it is effectively polarity inversion, you know? So like you can take an EQ, if you do that and you want to get only the signal that you removed, that kind of thing, right? You have this going, and then you only will hear what is in this band or in this band or whatever. And it works for like anything. It's effectively like a spectral version of that, kind of. You tried doing this lots of times, you don't know what you're doing wrong, never get a clean signal of the delta. I mean, it depends on what the thing you're doing, what effect you're using, because some effects, I guess, aren't clean per se, and they might like slightly alter the original signal everywhere into some amount, in which case, yeah, the delta is gonna not be great. I only have solid state gear. Any tips? I don't know what that is. What is solid state music production? Solid state gear music? I have no idea what you're talking about. Some sort of hardware thing. Do not know. Yeah, this sounds cool. Oh, something cool that you could do with the math thing though, that is very neat, is if you set the time amount, let's turn all this shit off. If you set the delay time to 5 milliseconds, why can't I hear it? I'm not supposed to hear it. Oh, feedback is up. Nope. Time scale? Just reset all parameters. There we go. Why can... There we go. Okay, so what I have set up now is we're delaying the signal by 5 milliseconds, and then we're deleting all shared harmonics between the two, right? So if you know a little bit about calculus, I only use analog and digital. That's everything. Everything is either analog or digital. So I don't know what you're asking. So basically, if you know calculus, then effectively this is the derivative. We're delaying something in time just slightly, and we're taking the distance between the two, right? Or the difference. So if you want to know the velocity of an object, you find how much time has passed and then how far they've moved between those two intervals, and then you can determine from that how fast they're moving, right? Which is the derivative, which is velocity. The smaller that interval is, the smaller amount of time you have, the more instantaneous the velocity is. So effectively, this is the derivative of the frequency spectrum and how it's changing over time. So I'm holding down a note. We're not hearing anything because we're just playing a constant unchanging sine wave or saw wave, right? But notice that you can hear this kind of do a thing. I'm gonna compress the shit out of it because this is gonna be cool. So we can only hear movement now, movement in time. Why do you sound like that? Interesting. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, I think what was happening is they were already at their max amplitude, and so you couldn't really hear it when I was doing that. So if we turn this off, and then... You can only hear it then, and then otherwise you can't hear it, as long as it's moving, which is neat. So notice that like when I twist the shift knob, I'm deleting random partials, right? Which means you're going to hear only those partials for about 40 milliseconds as I delete it. Now with the drive knob, all the deleted partials are actually square waves now. This is kind of fucking crazy. Let's try finding... What is... There's... It isn't called crystal anymore. Oh, snowflake! So this one's really cool. So the way snowflake works is it will freeze in time certain partials and then melt them. So with it off, sounds like that. Let's reset everything. Let's fully reset all that. Reset the default. Right? With it on. So you can hear it's basically grabbing individual partials, holding them still, and then melting them, then grabbing other partials. Sounds fucking awesome. Now, let's take the spectral derivative of that and see what that sounds like. My computer is lagging like fucking crazy right now. Though again... anyways, so we have a bunch of crazy little things here. We can take these. Slow them down. So that's all cool. What else could we do? So that's some of the math function stuff. What are some new things that I have not played around with? Oh yeah, there's these emergence things. I've not really touched these at all. Yeah, very chimey. So it just sounds like, you know, saw wave. It does something like that, I don't know. Again, kind of confused. Let's try to do the, and then what are you doing? We're smear, temporal. Yeah, no, we want, tap. And then we're going to do math. So I'm curious now, because this is making a lot of, like, subtle, slow filter changes over time. So now I'm curious if we do this kind of thing, and then we also take out from that. Set that to subtract, no feedback. So it's doing that. Huh. Can't hear it. Isn't there a way to swap? Did he get rid of the button? Oh, there we go. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Hey, what's up, Voodoo Die? Welcome back. I'm just showing off the current Hyperfield build that I've been beta testing. But that's not really doing what I want. I mean, something, okay, let's try to just, like, make a cool sound. Instead of, how do I just delete this? Thank you. So there's this, like, pluck thing, right? Which, like, makes it... There's, like, a bunch of different tools for, like, envelope shaping to make it sound more, like, physically modeled pluck stuff. I can use this to make kicks, I guess. That's kind of cool. I didn't know half of these things were here. These are either new or I just never touch it. Oh, there is a smiley face feature. Yes, I forgot. Take this guy. You. And then visualizers. Where's... There we go, Yapper. Yes. And then let's get formant peaks. Let's move you over here. is it his mouth all shuts immediately? I want it. Okay, we gotta disconnect. We want us to go from here, maybe? There we go. The visualizer doesn't quite work right with pluck involved. All right, let's get a MSEG. And then MSEG, go on you, and then we'll make you do something different. Alright, I hate it here. I hate it. Get me out of here. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, drop a WIP. You're gonna enter it in a beat contest on Thursday. You want to correct things? Okay, yeah, for sure. Just drop it in the Discord, in the feedback and whips. Why is that happening? Let's change you to phase. No? Yes? No? Phase. And then, I don't know, try a low pass. With another MSEG. And then you. Hello. Go on you. Hello? Why is this not there? And then we want this to be set trigger source. I don't know. Can't we just make this the envelope? Amp envelope. It's not doing it. It ain't doing it. I don't know. I never use MSEGs. Okay, anyways. Phoebe has dropped a thing in the Discord. Hold on. I'm getting lost everywhere. Okay, we got this thing. It is quiet. Hold on. I think big bass guy is a little bit too loud. At least like intro is kind of quiet relative to the drop, and big bass guy I think is a little bit too distorted, just a bit. I mean I only listened for 3 seconds, so give me a sec. I'm gonna go back a sec. Yeah, that guy's a little bit too... Oh, I did not mean to do that. It's a little bit too blown out in the mid-range, low mids especially. So just like watch the low mids. I would just turn it down like 5D. I don't know, just make it... It is substantially louder than everything else in the mix. Your drums should be louder than it, probably. You probably want to make sure that it is not louder than the drums. And then just watch the low mids especially. Like this bit here is fine, but it's just those guys are too loud. that section there. Well, okay, if you're just looking for mixed feedback, then I'll just do that. But I'm gonna critique it anyways. That section, that last little like 4-8 bars there or whatever, I get kind of lost, and I'm not really sure what you're going for or doing before it like falls back into the thing. I think just like the addition of some fills and risers just to make it more clear, hey, this is like the end of a section. This is like the last 8 bars of a section where I'm like, you know, veering off course before I go back, because I can't really tell if you are veering off course or if the song is doing, I don't know, it just gets kind of confusing and unsatisfying there. I'm gonna go back like 10 seconds. Yeah, I think it's just like there's no sub in that whole section, and like they're all kind of just like meandering. I think just like a more clear melodic thing that it is following, that is centered instead of switching and hocketing around so much without the sub. I don't know, there's a lot going on there, but just the addition of like some risers or whatever could probably help that. I think that hat is a little bit loud. The one that happens like right before the snare. Just like a tiny bit. I'll watch the 2 to 5 kilohertz range, especially 1 to 5 kilohertz. Like these guys, as your kick drum is filtering out and you're like bringing in these squelchy things, the squelchy things are entirely painful frequencies and they're at like full fucking volume. So just like watch that for sure. Right there, it gets a little bit, it's just volume stuff. Just shit gets too loud. I love this part. The songwriting is great. This part's fucking awesome. Yeah. Yeah, like that guy fucking hurts. The fucking counter melody thing in the background, super cool. Can't really make it out. I think you can make that guy a little bit louder after you turn all the other shit down, or just turning all the other shit down will just make that guy pop out a little bit more just as a consequence. Yeah. Yeah, more painful stuff. Low mids, too much. Kind of muddy. I mean, it is naturally going to be muddy because it's going all crazy, but again, I think just turning the volume down will fix all. So there's this part here where you're just like hitting the note. It's probably fine in some parts, but in my experience, when you're hitting, if you're trying to make like a sub bass like 16th note, it's probably just like not gonna sound good just as a consequence of sub bass needing like a long sustained waveform. And so if you're like hitting 16th notes really, really quickly or whatever, you can like, I suppose in a sense it's fucking with the phase. I don't know. It's just tricky to pull that off. And it ends up sounding like almost kind of muddy. So just like be aware of that. Maybe like it's pulsing really, really frequently. Maybe make it pulse half as much or a third or 2/3 as much as it is in that moment. And then you can still achieve kind of the same effect without it feeling too busy. I don't know. Or it might just be fixed as a consequence of like, you know, approaching the other mixing decisions just because there's like so much going on, especially in the low mids. Because, you know, if the low mids are super busy, then it also kind of interferes with the sub in a sense, like perceptually. Those chords are super sick. Hold on, I'm going back. Okay. This is more subjective. One, the drop, you need to build more tension and release for the drop. So like when that switch up happens, the super sick chords happen, it does like a nice little riff, and then we just go into this whole new like constantly descending, fucking with your head shepherd tone kind of feel vibe. Is there, oh, I just noticed the chat. Is there a way to keep the quickness? I am matching the tempo to other elements. I think so, V, with adjusting attack and decay of each subnote. Yeah, or just like, like you have the subnote pulsing like, bup, 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 bup. Just make it go, bup, 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 bup. And at that point, you know, just like make it happen less often and try it out and see if that still accomplishes the thing that you're going for. You know, like see if you could get away with less. Does that still do the same thing? Okay, so one, the chords that you tease at the end of that whole section are fucking awesome, and just that whole interplay there, I love that. But then you just kind of leave it, and that makes me sad. And personally, I want to hear more of that sound. The whole soundscape, once you introduce those elements to your sound palette, I think is peak, and I want to stay there. But then you immediately switch to this fucked up clown circus world, which is like, that's subjective, you know. Maybe I need to get sent into clown circus world, and so that's fine. But I want to hear the good part instead of clown circus. Personally, I want to hear that explored a little bit more. So maybe put those chords and those ideas there, and sprinkle it before, like throughout the song a little bit more, because then you have like the interplay of fucking cool chords and melodic and harmonic content as well as thick bass. That's the good shit, I think. Then you're like playing in multiple dimensions instead of just like, check out this really big fucking saw wave, wow, you know. And you tap on that a little bit, and I think you could tap on that more. And then, okay, but actual critique beyond the subjective thing, I think the switch up, you need to filter out the lower elements, and then you need to add a riser. So whenever there's these like big switch ups happening, make sure that it's like apparent. It doesn't have to be super apparent leading up for 10 seconds or whatever. Just make it apparent within like the last second or half a second. Oh, we're getting a switch up. Add a drum fill, add a riser, filter the drums out just for a second so that when it comes back in, it hits harder. And then you'll carry the listener forward. Because what happens right now is with... Here, we'll go back a second. I'm just going to play it again so we can just know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's just it's cool, but there's so much sub bass and low mids and stuff, and everything's at just like max volume. Which sounds kind of like that reminds me of fucking the Star Wars siren on Kashyyyk. Anyways. That thing is way louder than everything else. So then when you go into the new section, like the energy like goes down a little bit, you know? So just filtering risers and stuff like that. And then the duck that's quacking in the background, the wah, 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 wah kind of thing, that's super distorted. I think there's too many of them. They're just like happening like rapid fire, and I think you could do some subtractive work trying to figure out which ones you can remove and keep, because it's like I'm hearing like 10 of them in the span of half a second or something, and I can't even really make out what they're doing because they're falling over each other and they're fighting against all the other elements. So getting really, really decisive about just like deleting some and keeping others at the right points in time will make them stand out more. Less is more in that instance. Yeah, and these guys they're just way too loud, mostly. Personally, subjectively, I'm not a fan of this whole descending bassline section. I mean, you know, you're doing a thing with intention, and I respect that. But it would make me uncomfortable at a show in a negative sense, I feel like. But that, again, is a very subjective thing. Just like relative to the portion before. Jesus Christ, before. Okay. I like this section before, I don't like this section from a subjective point of view. So just like do with that what you will. But for the most part, the song, just bass elements are way too loud. Watch your high frequencies, watch your low frequencies, your low mids in particular. Turn all the bass stuff way down. Approaching drops and stuff, play with risers, filter stuff, drum fills, make it more apparent where the song is gonna go. Like that also happened in the earlier section of the song, because there's like another section where there's like kind of an extended, the sub bass disappears and the sounds are just meandering around before it comes back to the main point. I think those sections could benefit from stuff like risers and filtering and doing stuff with a little bit more intention. But otherwise it fucking bangs. There's one part early on I really fucked. Yeah, I fucking love this section right here a lot. I feel like this is the most danceable part. You do start to lose me a little bit around 2 minutes. I feel like 120 to 2 minutes fucking bangs. I love everything that you're doing here. 2 minutes, I get a little bit lost, and I think that again could be benefited from with like risers and stuff like that, and just signifying, hey, we're getting a switch up. You know, things are gonna change here. Do some like teasers and stuff like that. I fucking love that bit. Yeah, it's kind of weird. At 2 minutes, like 2 minutes to 2 minutes and 15 seconds, you enter a completely new idea and then you kind of leave it, which is just odd. I would sit personally, and I know you said you're on like a tight deadline and you're doing this for a beat contest and this is like really good for a short amount of time, but if you wanted to expand on the song, I would take this whole idea, the 2 minutes to 2 minutes 50 seconds idea, and expand that and replace or remove the later section personally. I think this section is a lot more danceable, and I think you can explore a lot with the chord idea. Just because you only got 15 seconds of it. You can extend that for another 15, 20, 40 seconds or whatever, and then do your outro. And then you can explore what the chord's doing. Maybe the chord plays a different thing later. Do some call and response. I don't know. Yeah, song is very cool. Very, very cool. Hope that was I hope that was helpful. For sure. A lot of subjective stuff in there for sure, but you know, some objective. Just make shit less loud, basically. Less distorted, less loud. And watch your high frequency stuff for sure. That's the most important. I would rather listen to a song where the bass isn't loud enough than a song where the sound hurts my ears. Right? I would way rather prefer that. So keep that in mind. You got some good notes? Good. Yes, take notes. Taking notes is good. I should take more notes for sure when I'm making my own music. Okay. What were we doing? We were doing hyperfield stuff. Ow. Yeah, what do we want? Yeah, it's just weird shit going on over here. I think my issue with hyperfield is I'm very bad at individual big chunky base design. I've not really figured it out. Actually, I kind of figured it out with a resonator. I forgot. Oh, we can check out. Can't remember if did this preset break. I think it did. Yes, it did. Let's disconnect that. You go. Da-da. Oh. Oh shit, he made the sampler sound way better. All right, now I'm curious how the sampler works because I've been using it in a giant thingy. Okay, sampler. Okay, let's find, I don't know, a voice. Okay, sure. Damn. Damn, he improved the shit out of this. Whoa. That's fucking cool. Then oh yeah. We gotta add the eyes for sure. What is the mouth called? Yapper. Can I not change the loop end? Wait. Macro, get out of here. There we go. I broke it? Hold on, this is a banger. Hold on, this is, what the fuck is that? Michael Turtle Village Voice. The fuck is this? Okay, it's just a whole ass song, apparently.
Flowing.
Is this it? This is not it. I have no idea. I have no idea what that is. Anyways, Nickelback. Hold on. Gotta put Nickelback in here. What's the initial how do I in it? I'm crazy. Reset the default. And lock. I'm so curious.
All you geniuses.
you geniuses that know all the facts. All you geniuses that know all the facts. All you geniuses.
Oh, it doesn't play the whole thing?
All you geniuses.
Okay, so there's a set amount of length of time that can go into this.
All you geniuses that know facts. All you geniuses. All you. I flow and that's it.
Loop mode is random?
It's
weird.
All the facts.
I don't think random mode is behaving as one would expect.
Geniuses.
Oh, oh god, I have not paid attention to the fucking stream in so long. I'm terrible. I'm the worst. Yes, thank you, Fortune from Within, for telling me fucking ages ago to fix my minimeters. I am the worst. Why is it different? Oh, it's different because of this guy. Let's set this to retrigger. This is me. This is me when I realized that I fucked up the live stream for 10 minutes. Okay, I don't know, we got Sampler. Sampler can do shit. It's kind of cool. Let's find something big and complex. Yeah, fuck it. Okay, I'm finding so much enjoyment looking at that guy. I'm curious now if we do the spectral derivative thing. So let's take this guy, and then you go into that and subtract. He goes crazy. It's not really. I think it goes too crazy to sound good here. Oh yeah, I stopped reading the chat when I should have. Wait, Phoebe. Oh, I didn't even. Oh god, I'm fucking everything up. My face is supposed to be here. Okay. Okay. And then let's make it smaller. And then let's adjust that. Let's make it even smaller, frankly. We don't need to see much of me. Despite the importance of trying to foster a make-believe parasocial relationship with my audience. Okay. Voodoo says, I'm turning up the high passes on my bass patch EQs and it sounds much better. Almost worried about my sub volume now. Is there a benchmark? Okay, so the benchmark thing, your benchmark, the way I have solved sub bass, here's your solution to sub bass. Put a spectrum on your master, and then after your master, you want your sub, set the spectrum from like 0 to -10 or something. You want your sub to sit at -6, and you want your kick to sit at like maybe slightly higher than -6. And you're done. That's it. So how I go about mastering music and tuning the sub bass levels is I will crank my limiter until it sounds bad. And then I'll check to see what my sub bass levels are, and then I'll adjust it, turn down my sub bass such that it sits at -6, and then see how the limiter sounds, and I'll adjust that, and then adjust other elements in the mix. And then once those are adjusted, I might turn the limiter up a little bit more because I have more space after fixing my mix. And then I'll turn this, then the sub bass will go back up to like -2 or some shit, and I'll turn my sub bass down, and I'll adjust my limiter and just go back and forth, but always just aim for sitting the sub bass around here, basically. And once I started doing that, I've never had to do a card check and then like realize that my sub bass is fucked. That's never happened again. I just kind of fixed it. I go play live shows and it sounds fine. So just shoot to have around -6 dB on your sub after everything. And that's specifically for like music mastered around -6 and -7 LUFS. Maybe it's different with different perceived loudness levels. I don't know. But, yeah. What if we put a phase thing now? Because everything's all super crazy. Another tap. What about with the dynamic wobbly subs, etc.? Okay, so yeah, that's mostly with sustained subs. I think, personally, and I guess, I don't know, I've played shows. I'm not a professional. I guess I'm a professional tech. Yeah, fuck it. I'm a professional. Why not? I get paid to do this. I'm trying to make this my fucking whatever. If I use like an auto pan or something and it's like pulsing on the sub bass, then I think it's okay to try to make the average volume sit at around -6, meaning that like it might peak at like -2 or whatever. So before I started doing this, and the reason why I started doing this is I use like reference tracks, and I realized that like all the good music in the fucking world is tends to have their sub like at a reasonable level of like around -6. I analyzed a bunch of Tipper's music, all of the stuff sits at -6. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start doing that. But before I did that, I had no idea, and the shit is just peaking at 0 the entire time. So Tangled Snakes, this song, the sub, is just at 0 on the fucking spectrum pretty much the whole time, but it also oscillates between like 0 and -6 or whatever, or even lower, because it has autopan on it. And I think it sounds fine. It would sound better, and my master would be able to be louder without as much awful compression and distortion and shit had I not done this. So I definitely fucked up on the master of the song doing that, but I think it's the sub level itself still sounds fine. Because it's peaking at 0, but it's not like sitting there. So I think you can hit people with like a pulse every now and then, or, you know, if you make it like rhythmic and the average is like kind of low, I think that's reasonable. And it's like pulsing. So like I know when I was giving feedback to Voodoo, on like he had points where he was playing like 16th note sub bass hits, and they're just like constantly hitting with like a little droop in their pitch envelope and whatnot. And I was cautioning him about playing sub notes hits really, really, really fast. I think you can kind of achieve that using auto pans. So like the auto pan I think is pulsing at 8th notes, and we're at like 100. Yeah, 8th notes or something, and we're at 115 BPM. Do you put limiter on your master? Yeah, I mix into a limiter. Your second favorite PQ tune? Oh, well, what's your first? I am curious. Gimbal Lock. Gimbal Lock is pretty good. I should release that, like, actually, probably. I have ideas for doing just like an up-tempo EP later this year. I might just shove Gimbal Lock into it and be like, look at this, new music. And then maybe people who only listen to me on Spotify will be impressed, even though I'm really just being lazy. This part, I'm pretty upset with myself for thinking this part was good. I think the wubs here sound like shit. There's just like a certain specific layer in it that I think sounds bad. Like I'm so happy with the mix up until that point, and then I just fucking shit the bed. But it happens on every song. I don't think there's a single song I'm 100% happy with the mix. Like, there's always at least one fucking thing. Like, honestly, no, the mix on floppy ears, I think I don't have a single issue with the mix. I have issues with some of my songwriting decisions, but also I just don't like floppy ears that much. I just don't. I don't know. It kind of sucks that this is my most popular song, and I don't like it. I mean, I like it. I think it's overrated. But you like Quark Soup. I like Quark Soup too. I think Quark Soup is a difficult listen, and I understand why it has very little listens relative to everything else. I kind of knew that would happen when I made the EP. Like, I knew this EP wouldn't be popular. I knew that. But I felt like I had to do it, because I feel like I was just... The songs were really fucking interesting. So maybe that was a bad decision financially or whatever the fuck, but... yeah. Next EP, we'll have 2 songs already on SoundCloud. There we go. Exactly. Nofo. Yeah, Nofo's pretty good. Though, for whatever reason, I'm just gonna point out flaws in the song so that you can, when you listen to it, you'll be like, oh yeah, why did he do that? I don't know why, but there's just one really bad sounding snare right in the build-up. That snare right there, I removed another snare layer. There's like the nice like rim shot kind of snare layer that's happening the whole time, and then like the last snare, I remove the rim shot, but then I keep the shitty electronic snare buried in the mix in the background, and I just like didn't remove it. And then the moment I fucking published the song and it went out, I was like, oh, why did I leave that there? Anyways, the rest of the song's kind of fire. So it's okay. That's all right. I should have just kept the rim shot in there. I don't know. Yeah. Didn't even notice this. I mean, the snare's fine. Like, it doesn't sound like an issue, really. I think it is. Name Floppy Ears what made it your biggest song? Yeah, probably. Probably. I didn't even come up with the name. It was a friend of mine. Just like, call it Floppy Ears. I'm like, yeah. I'm so bad with names. Okay, I think I'm not... I think I'm gonna go outside and like touch grass or something. I think that's the move. I've been inside all day. But fun live stream. I was kind of productive in the first half, and then the second half we just kind of fucked around. But is what it is. But yay, we call that productivity. We call that getting back into the groove of making music. Because that was the point of this live stream. We're trying to just build the fucking discipline to do this every day again, and that's what we're doing. So yeehaw. Yeah. All right. I'm heading out. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Yeah. Later.